everybody, it's Mel. Thank you so much for joining me today for a look back on my 2023 goals. This is just for fun, really, just to see how everything went and give a little bit more perspective as to why I might have decided to change things a bit or what I've decided to keep and that sort of thing for 2024. I do have a 2024 goals video which I will link in the description below, so if you'd like to go and find out what it is that I'm bringing forward and what it is that I am hoping to get out of 2024, then that is the place to go and have a look. This is going to be a conversation about 2023 and all of the goals that I had for 2023. The biggest goal that I had for my reading for 2023 was diversity. But before I talk about that, I'll just mention my Goodreads goal. I have for the last few years been setting my Goodreads goal as 80 books. This is a manageable amount for me. I feel like reading is a hobby, reading something we do for fun, and although I want to read a lot so that I can make content about it because I really enjoy this channel as well as the reading, it is supposed to be fun and it's not supposed to be stressful. So I've kept my reading goal at 80 because it's manageable. I did hit it this year. I hit it by 86 books, so 6 books over. That's slightly less than what I've had for the last few years. That's fine. That's just how it goes. But yeah, I did manage to hit that goal. Now, in terms of diversity, I did reasonably well at this one. I did have a few categories that I wanted to try and make sure that I was meeting every single month. I had 2 categories that I had to meet every single month, and then other things that felt like it was good to do but were kind of a bonus. To help me with this, I was playing my Diversify Me game. So this is how I tracked my diversity but also gamified to make sure that I was sticking to it a little bit more. Over here, you will see that there are no lines, which means that I managed to read at least one book by a BIPOC author each month, so BIPOC meaning Black, Indigenous or person of colour, and one book that had LGBTQIA+ rep in it in some way. That was every single month. That's what I had to do. Now, the top 2 of the columns showed that I did manage to do that every single month, but this is where I would have put lines had I not done that, and I would have lost a magnet down the bottom. So that was the way that I was making sure that I was doing at least that. But I did also have a few different categories. So I'm pretty happy with my LGBTQIA+ and my BIPOC. I have more than 12 lines definitely in LGBTQIA+. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Just slightly more in BIPOC. Although I haven't, this is actually 11 months, it's not including December. So if I included December, I would get another 2 lines in LGBTQIA+, and I think another 2 lines in BIPOC. But anyway, I'm pretty happy with that. It's at least meeting what I said, which was 1 book a month. Then I have neurodiverse, and as you can see, I only have 1 line for neurodiverse, so that one was less good. In physical or mental health, I managed to read basically more than 1 book a month for that, so I'm pretty happy with that. That's really, really good. Australian Aboriginal authors, well, there's 1 more line that could have gone there, but I only read 4 books by Australian Indigenous authors in 2023, so I'm a little bit less happy with that one. Even though it'd be great if I did this, I do think that it is quite important to read books set in Australia, and particularly by Australian Aboriginal authors, so I need to up that a little bit more in 2024. Translated also didn't do very well. I only read 2 translated works, so I'd like to increase that also. For comics, I did read quite a few comic/graphic novels, so I'm pretty happy with that. That is not an area that I'm particularly well versed in, although I'm getting more so I'm happy with that. Short stories, I did woefully. I only read 1 book, and it's not even there, but anyway, I only read 1 book of short stories by Neil Gaiman in 2023. I'm not as concerned about that. It's just not a format I particularly love, so I definitely want to try and read some more. Partly because I have a friend who's had quite a few short stories published, but yeah, it's not something I'm super concerned about. Arcs. Arcs. I joined NetGalley for the first time last year in 2023, at the beginning of 2023. I had been thinking about doing that off and on throughout the entire time that I have been on BookTube. That's when I became aware of NetGalley. For those who don't know, NetGalley is a website where you can apply to read advanced reader copies. So books that are going to be published but haven't yet been published, and you can give your opinion about the book before it comes out. It helps with marketing and initial sales and stuff like that. So I think it's really good, and I think that I love that people do it, and I think it's amazing. But yeah, I read 3 arcs in 2023, and that was at the beginning of the year, and I just kind of didn't really read that many, like, after March. I don't know why. I don't entirely know what it is, but it's just not something that I was particularly concerned with. I do, like many of us, tend to forget that my e-reader exists and tend to forget what I've got on there. So that's part of it. So basically on NetGalley, you have to get a good rating on NetGalley for them to say, yes, we'd like you to read our book, for the more popular ones. So you have to read the less popular stuff, or like less anticipated, I guess, prior to getting access to the more anticipated. And it's just not a process I particularly care about. I know it's important. Like, I find that I struggle to read books I've just bought that have just come out, much less an arc. So it's just not something I'm going to be focusing on at all. I kind of knew going in that it wasn't really something I was that concerned with, and I proved to myself that I didn't really care that much. So I do kind of feel jealous when I hear people talk about having arcs and getting things sent from the publishers, specifically like actual books. But at the same time, like, I have a huge TBR, so do I really want more books on my TBR that I have to read in a particular time frame? You know what I mean? So anyway, arcs, I'm not saying that I'll never do NetGalley again or never think about it, I've still got a NetGalley. I can still jump in at any point. And, you know, if people send me arcs, like, I'm not saying that I wouldn't take an arc. Hello, if you're a publisher out there, I would take an arc. But it's just not a focus, I guess. So I'm probably not going to get them now, which is fine. And then non-European inspired. So that's something I didn't do very well at either. So a lot of the BIPOC authors that I was reading from were European inspired or were from, like, America. So a lot of the American culture is European inspired, if that makes sense. So that's something I'd like to work on a little bit more as well. But yeah, this is actually being retired now. I feel like I have done what I set out to do with that game, which was to make myself more aware of reading diversely, particularly BIPOC and LGBTQIA+. But yeah, I feel like I've achieved that. I feel like I am more aware of it. I feel like I am branching out and reaching for books that I maybe didn't think of as much previously. So that's really, really good. And I don't feel like that game is necessary anymore. So it's being retired. But in terms of those goals, I think I did really pretty well in 2023, and I'm pretty happy with those. Let me look at my journal for 2023. There will be a 2023 journal flip through coming your way as well soon enough. Themed reading vlogs. So they didn't go super well. I did start the year off quite strong with those. I put up a reading popular romance vlog. I put up a reading Alice Oseman's books vlog. I've done a couple of specific books reading vlogs. I did have a reading vlog in the works that I started but never continued with, which was giving authors a second chance. I'm very open to continue with that. I just put a book down, various reasons didn't go back to it, and didn't end up going back to the vlog. But if people would like to see me do that, and also if you have suggestions of authors that I should give a second try to, then potentially I will do that. But yeah, themed reading vlogs I feel like weren't as much of a priority as I was hoping they would be in 2023, but it's something I'm bringing forward into 2024. I have some really fun ideas that I'm hoping to get off the ground in 2024. There is a reading vlog that I was working on all the way through 2023 that will come out in January though, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, something I'm wanting to continue doing and focusing on, but something I didn't think I did particularly well in 2023. In terms of buddy reads, read-alongs and readathons, I think that I was happy with how that went. I did a few buddy reads and they were really fun. I really enjoy buddy reads, so if you'd like to buddy read a book with me, let me know, that'd be amazing. I continue to buddy read quite often with my friend Alison. I continue to buddy read with my friend Michelle. I've buddy read with a few different people. Joined in a few read-alongs. I was running a read-along with Bethany and Cara throughout the first half of 2023, and that was really fun. So I'm bringing read-alongs back. I have the Hitchhikers Guide to the Galaxy Readalong, which is happening as of now, starting in January. I will link the announcement video for that as well as the Discord if you want to read the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy books with myself and some other amazing booktubers, then please join us. We would absolutely love that. Like I said, those details are down below as well. And I think that I did join in some readathons. I also ran 2 readathons. I ran Roll of Reads in March and I ran the Australian Readathon in November with some amazing co-hosts. And both those readathons are coming back in 2024. Roll of Reads is definitely coming back in March, but we're not 100% sure when the Australian Readathon will be coming back, but keep an eye out for that. I did add the goal partway through the year of series, which I didn't elaborate on and haven't really done anything about, so that's still an ongoing issue. In terms of YouTube, I wanted to have 2,000 subscribers by the end of 2023, and I barely got 100 subscribers throughout 2023. I've heard other people say that they found that they didn't get as many subscribers as they were expecting or hoping for in 2023. Having said that, there were still people who were getting thousands and thousands, so you know. But I feel like with various things happening in social media and the world in general, that people just aren't watching YouTube as much, and yeah, it seems to be that it wasn't just me, basically, that YouTube in general were not getting as much activity. So I now have close to 1,200 subscribers, so yeah, I barely made it out of the 1,100s in fact I didn't in 2023. So the idea that I get an extra 1,000 was a little bit hopeful, shall we say. But I feel like, and I said this in my 2024 goals video, I feel like once I hit 1,000 that I was like quite comfortable, and I'm not really super bothered. I mean, obviously I want to grow and I'm really grateful. I feel like I've gained a lot of subscribers in the last couple of weeks, which is amazing, and if you are one of them, thank you so much for joining. That is fantastic and I really appreciate you. So having said all that, it's not that I don't appreciate my incredible subscribers, because I do 100%, but I'm just trying not to focus on it because I tend to get a bit depressed if it's not going that well or as well as I think it should be going, and instead I should just be grateful for those people that turn up, basically. So that's what I'm trying to do, and that's also what I tried to do a little bit in 2023, and it did work. I mostly wasn't that bothered. There was a little bit of a lull in the middle of the year, but I mostly wasn't bothered. But yeah, I didn't get 2,000 and that's probably okay. But I did make regular videos, which is something I wanted to continue to do. Did not do quarterly favourites. That's something that I said I was going to do in 2023. Something I think I said I was going to do in 2022. I haven't yet managed to do it. Is this something you're interested in? Because I will do it in 2024. I promise I will do it in 2024. I will stick to that. But if you're not interested, please let me know, because like just said, I promise, but if no one cares, then there's probably no point. So let me know. Journaling videos, I didn't do as many of those as I thought I potentially would, but I did do a mid-year journal and flip through, and I will do an end of year flip through, and I've also done my 2024 setup video. All of those things are linked below. So I'd like to do more. I have decided, or at least I'm going to trial doing reset videos every month as well, and part of that will be setting up journal spreads for the following month. So keep an eye out for those, because that's where you'll get a lot of journal entries. But yeah, let me know if you'd like more flip throughs and stuff like that. In terms of writing, I really didn't do very well in 2023. I did not end up writing the story I was thinking about writing. It just didn't work. I just couldn't make it work. I ended up not doing 8 hours a week for the most part. There were a few weeks where I did, but for the most part I didn't. Partly because I picked up a lot of teaching work in the second and third term, and I find it very difficult to teach and write, especially in term 3, I was working full time. But partly I don't know. I've said this before, I feel like I have a okay amount of like talent or ability, but not discipline. I need discipline. But yeah, I am going to definitely do some more writing this year. It's going to happen. Yeah, I have to. I must, is basically where I'm going with that. Last to Read Book Club ended in 2023. I had high hopes for it at the beginning of the year. I made goals about it, and it didn't last. We did make a Ko-Fi membership system, and it was quite good for a while. We had a good time, but it came to an end. It felt like a natural end. The people involved were getting involved in different things and couldn't put the time, and that's fine. We are done, but you know, we're still friends, and we're still friends with all the people that were part of it, and that's the main thing really. But it's closed, so yeah, that goal kind of ended itself, I guess. But yeah, that's my 2023 goal look back, I guess. Please do comment below and let me know your thoughts, particularly the questions I've asked about things going forward, but also just, I guess, what you think of my look back. If, like me, you don't really know exactly how to continue that sentence or what to say, please leave me a thumbs up emoji, because I think overall I did okay. But yeah, all of my social media details are listed in the description below, so if you'd like to go and follow me on any of those other platforms, please feel free to do so. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would absolutely love it if you would subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. And yeah, like I said, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.